Ouch. Dang. What's up? Welcome to the Six Man Show Postgame Live, presented by Rock'em. My name's Kevin. Magic fall 105-104 at home against the Memphis Grizzlies. It's so funny. Looking at the reactions of the chat and of group chats that I'm in and of Twitter, everybody freaking out about how this game was lost, and rightfully so. We'll talk about it, right? But at the same time, it's so funny because 2 weeks ago, maybe 1 week ago even, if you were to say to any of us, hey, the Magic lose a hard-fought game by 1 point to the Memphis Grizzlies, the second or third best team in the Western Conference, you would have taken that. I would have taken that. But now, in the context of how this game ended, how the Magic lost the game, how the Magic had multiple sizable leads and lost them, and then how they had a chance to win the game at the end and kind of messed that one up. Yeah, it doesn't feel so good anymore, does it? All right, this will be fun. Welcome to the Six Man Show Postgame Live. It's presented by Rock'em. Again, my name's Kevin. Glad you're hanging out with us. This is our live postgame show after every Orlando Magic game right here on YouTube. So whether you're hanging out with us for the first time or you've been here for all whatever this is, 59 games of the season, I don't know how many we've played. Glad you're hanging out with us today. This show is brought to you by Rock'em. They're the world's largest sock store, and they're a Central Florida company located just down the street from Kia Center. They make all kinds of crazy, wild, wacky, amazing, creative socks and underwear for some of your favorite sports teams, including the Orlando Magic. Got these Franz socks, which are pretty sick. Franz had a nice game tonight. We'll talk about him in a little bit. Got these stuffed socks. Love these. These are available at rock'em.com, and even non-Orlando Magic stuff. I got no pun intended with the stuff. I got some Florida State socks. I've got my Tampa Bay Lightning socks somewhere. I don't know. Yeah, don't bring up hockey right now. What a rough night last night for hockey. But anyway, not hockey, but basketball. This show is brought to you by Rock'em. Again, you can use that code MAGIC20 for 20% off your order at rock'em.com, whether it's Magic stuff or other stuff. Shop at rock'em.com and use that code. Okay. That's unfortunate. Magic, what an interesting game, okay? Terrible start, right? You trail early. But unfortunately, that's kind of par for the course right now. Magic comes roaring back, have a great second quarter, tie the game up going into the half, have a terrific start of the third quarter, go on a great run, let Memphis go on a great run to close the third quarter. Then the Magic go on another great run in the fourth quarter to get a decent lead, a lead that you really should hold on to. And then at the end of the fourth quarter, you let Memphis back into the game. But in spite of it all, you have multiple opportunities to put this game away down the stretch. I'm thinking of 2 turnovers for Franz Wagner down the stretch of this game. The one where he lost out of bounds. The other one where he let, I think it was Brandon Clark maybe, strip it from him after the rebound. 2 turnovers for Franz. I think about a couple of ill-advised shots. Paolo. I think about Franz had that. He ended up pump faking that 3 and then left the actual shot short. Did he need to pump fake it? Debatable, maybe. And then obviously the thing that everyone's going to talk about right now, because it's the last image in our minds, is the final possession where Santi Aldama misses both free throws to keep it a 1-point game. Magic have a chance to win the game at the buzzer or close to it. Paolo gets that rebound. The entire floor, everybody, especially the people wearing Orlando Magic jerseys, stopped because they thought we were going to take a timeout. And instead, they let Paolo run the ball up the court, which is fine. Look, here's... all right, I was going to say this later. I'm going to say it now. Here's where I am with this play, okay? Going into those free throws from Aldama, right? It has to be communicated from the bench what plan A is, okay? Meaning, hey, 10 seconds is a lot of time. It's plenty of time to not call a timeout if the right thing is there, right? And so if the plan is, hey, get the rebound and go and let's see what their defense does. And if that were the case, if that was discussed and we still lost the game, I'm less frustrated by that, right? But what I am frustrated about is the fact that Paolo got the rebound and everyone on the floor assumed that they were going to take a timeout. And they didn't. Okay? So that's the part that really frustrates me. Again, if the plan all along was get the rebound and go, and Paolo missed the shot and, fine, whatever. But the fact that clearly was not the plan because nobody was on the same page at the end. A timeout should have been called at the rebound. And even when the ball crosses half court and at least three of Magic players are still on the other side of the court because they weren't expecting to go, that's when you call a time. You have another opportunity to call a timeout. Call a timeout. And by then you have, 4 or 5 seconds left. Maybe, I don't know. I haven't watched the replay yet. You have time to call a timeout and time to draw up a play. So yes, that ending was very frustrating. Very frustrating. And so I'm weighing this balance right now. Number one, where if you listen to yesterday's episode of the Six Man Show, myself and Jonathan talked, we wanted a competitive game tonight. We knew it was the second night of a back-to-back. We knew this is against an elite basketball team in Memphis. And we just wanted to be competitive because the last several games that the Magic have played against good basketball teams, the Magic have gotten absolutely blown out. Did not belong in the same building as those teams. And so we said yesterday, let's just be competitive. If you win the game, great. But let's start with being competitive. So on the one hand, I'm grateful the Magic were competitive, had multiple leads in this game, lost by 1 possession. On the other hand, this feels like it was a very winnable game, a game that was dropped. And that's the part that hurts. That's how I feel. So I have mixed feelings tonight. I can't wait to hear from you, chat, because I am guessing there's not a whole lot of mixed feelings. A lot of people feeling one certain way tonight. Let's start with our super chats as we always do. This one is from Michael Martin. And Michael Martin says, we didn't want this win tonight. Found ways to lose. Here's the thing with that, right? I mean, I hear what you're saying, Michael. I appreciate that super chat, by the way. Thank you so much. This team fought pretty hard tonight. This was a very physical game. And honestly, if we can take away the last possession, which again is the taste that is in everyone's mouth, because it's the last taste, right? This was a highly entertaining basketball game. This was very fun, very physical, very competitive, very fast-paced at times, kind of frenetic, which leads for some entertainment sometimes. So for that, it was fun. And I don't think that this team didn't want to win tonight, right? I don't think this tonight was for a lack of effort. This team I felt they fought really hard tonight. They missed free throws again. That's a problem. Had it was more than a couple, several defensive possessions that were mental lapses, right? But again, it's hard because Memphis, they do this to everybody. They do this to every team in the league. They find ways to get open, get to the rim, and they have Ja, right? However, down the stretch, we crumbled, right? We definitely fumbled. I know there was a couple buckets made there, but outside of that, I mean, a lot of opportunities to put this game away, and we couldn't do it. A lot of people are going to point fingers at the final possession, and I don't blame anyone for that. But honestly, this game should not have come down to the final possession. If you look at how the trajectory of this game, and you look at the stats and everything, the Magic should have had this game put away down the stretch. It should not have been a 1-possession game. So that's how I feel. Thank you so much for that super chat, Michael. As always, thanks for your support. Always supporting the channel. Let's go check out the chat. By the way, there's a ton of you here. I always appreciate that, but there's a lot of you joining us over on X right now, which is wild. There is a ton of you here. So appreciate you hanging out with us. If you want to get involved in the chat, YouTube is the place to be. So hop on over to YouTube and join us if you want to get involved in the chat, which is where we're going to go next. Let's take a look at the chat tonight, which I can already bet this is going to be interesting. Yeah. Let's see. I'm Jovi says our defense looks like how it was at the start of the season. A lot of good defensive moments tonight from this team from a lot of different sources. Give them a lot of credit. Let's see. Luke Benson says these refs are terrible. These refs were really bad tonight, both ways. It was a poorly officiated game. Yeah, not good. Not good. Luke Benson also says the only thing we are consistent at is giving up leads. Yeah. Yes. Okay, I agree. On the other hand, it's kind of been just the NBA the last few years. I mean, even tonight, right? Memphis had a lead in the first quarter and they gave it up. So yeah. Santi says Gary with some points. Yeah, how about that? A timely triple. Unfortunately, just two buckets for Gary tonight. Let's see. Merritt says up 20 halfway through the third and lose. Yeah. I think it ended up being 19, I believe, was the largest lead of the game for the Magic. Let me double check that. Regardless, it was too many. Yeah, 19. Memphis led by as many as 12. Orlando led by as many as 19. You never want to blow a 19-point lead. But also, let's remind ourselves, that's exactly what happened last night in Atlanta. The opposite, right? Atlanta had a 19-point lead and lost. It's just kind of the way the NBA is these days. Let's see here. All right, yeah. Rom says, why not call a timeout? Yeah, it's that is definitely questionable. Definitely questionable and disappointing, honestly. This is hard, okay? This is a bit of a knee-jerk reaction here. And I understand why, because tonight we were not clutch, Matthew. But don't forget last night, okay? Just 24 hours ago, Cole hits a clutch triple, Paolo hits a clutch triple to put the game to bed. All right, so you're never going to be clutch every night, right? It's the NBA. Plus, Memphis has some very serious defensive problems when it comes to how they play you, right? Like, obviously, Jaren Jackson Jr., Defensive Player of the Year. Desmond Bane is a solid defender. They've got other guys. So it was tough down the stretch. Should they have done better in the clutch? Yes. To say we're just not clutch anymore 24 hours after we were clutch, I don't know. Feels like a bit of a reaction. I'm Jovi says free throws. Yeah, guys. Again, this is one of those things where I know we're going to point to the last possession, but it shouldn't have come down to that, right? 23 of 33 from the line, 69.7% from the free throw line tonight. That's not nice. Not nice at all. You knock down, two more of those. And this game doesn't end up like this. It's rough. Rough. Kevin says that's on Mosley. First off, hello, Kevin. From one Kevin to another. The final possession is. Yeah, the final possession is. I 100% agree. And again, if he's letting them play it out, first off, he needs to tell them that. They need to be aware of that because they were not. But then if he's playing it out and he sees Paolo cross half court and it's just a mess, he's got to call a timeout there. There's still plenty of time to call a timeout and draw up a play and come up with something better because that at the end was not. Now, on the flip side, is he saying, I'm just going to trust Paolo and whatever happens, happens? Because he's a great shot maker in difficult situations, in difficult, not just situational in the game, but situation like where he was challenging Jaren Jackson Jr. in that final possession. Can he make that shot? Sure. Can you try to get a better one? Maybe. Yes. Alexander says, what just happened? Honestly, I think this is where a lot of us are. Not just disappointed with the end, but it was so shocking because nobody expected it, right? You have the momentum swing of Aldama missing those two free throws, and you're thinking, holy crap, we're not having to go for a tie. We can go for the win. And everybody stopping and assuming a timeout. You hear Jeff Turner on the broadcast say, oh no, verbally out loud said, oh no, once Paolo started dribbling the basketball. I think that's also the other side of this is it's just shock that's how that game ended. Rough. Luke B, I've been waiting for someone to say something about this. He says, Cole Anthony masterclass ruined. We have to give props to Cole Anthony and Wendell. We'll talk about Wendell in a second, but Cole has been very good lately. Very good. Tonight was great. 17 points, 9 boards, 7 assists, 2 steals, and a block, pushing a triple-double for Cole. He was great, not only statistically, but had very timely offensive rebounds. I can think of at least 2 tonight. And obviously the biggest one at the end, down the stretch, gets that offensive rebound, allows the Magic to get another opportunity, which they don't take advantage of. But yeah, huge shout out to Cole Anthony. He was great tonight. Wendell, also very good tonight. Double-double for him. Interesting, he's not credited with a block. He should have a block. He's got 2 steals. They might have, one of those blocks might have been a 50-50 between block or steal. But I thought he was very, very good tonight. Had some great moments defending Jaren Jackson Jr. And yeah, 2 guys that Magic fans, including this show, have given some flack for this season, and rightfully so. Totally justifiable, because Wendell and Cole have not been themselves this season. But they are starting to turn it around, and that is in part why the Magic won last night and were competitive tonight. Because 2 weeks ago, tonight's a blowout, right? Magic go down in the first quarter and never look back. But tonight, multiple runs, a lot of it credit to those guys. Yeah, a lot. There are too many messages in the chat to read them out about Mosley. Everybody is very upset with that final possession, and I understand that. Lee Sanders with a very generous super chat. Thank you so much, Lee, for supporting the channel. Always appreciate that. Yeah, again, way too many messages talking about Jamal Mosley in that final possession. Everybody's on the same page. It was a mistake. I have not obviously watched the post-game comments yet. I'm curious curious what Jamal Mosley is saying or did say in that post-game there. Let's see. Oh, he did. Wow. Okay. Yeah. He said, quote, "That's on me. That is completely on me." So shout out Mose. Shout out Mose for owning it. Yeah, that was a mistake. Luis Rosario says 22 missed free throws in the last 2 games. Yeah, and that's a trend that was even before the All-Star break. A lot of missed free throws. And last night's game, missed some free throws. I think it was 10 last night. No, 12 last night, 10 tonight. Okay. That game last night should have been put away at the free throw line. Tonight should have been put away at the free throw line. Our dear friend Matty Rogers, who hosted the postgame live last night, always grateful for Matt hosting. Is it Fire Mo's time? He says. Some of y'all, I'm reading your messages in the chat, and you're there. I am absolutely not there. I am absolutely not even close to there. Not even close. Absolutely not even close. No. Not me. Nope. Not even close. Let's see. We just got a super chat. This one's from Jalen Lawson. Says, 2 guys called timeout at the end. Horrible officiating. Really? I did not see that at all. Chat, you guys have to tell me who. When you say 2 guys, was it players or the coach or coaches? Because not everybody can call timeout. Just because they're signaling timeout doesn't mean they can call timeout. Correct me if I'm wrong. In the NBA, the only people that can call timeout are the head coach and the person with the basketball. And Mosley didn't call timeout, and Banchero didn't call timeout. So if other guys are signaling timeout, it doesn't matter. If my NBA rules are correct, pretty sure it's only the coach and the player with the basketball that can call timeout. Oh man. Okay. Yeah. Let me. Let's jump over to the box score. I think let's do that next. I do want to talk about some stuff some scores around the league. It's a very interesting week when it comes to the Eastern Conference and the different games and how they could potentially impact the playoff standings. But let's check out the box score, because there's some good stuff in here tonight, honestly. Not everything's good, obviously, but some stuff is good. Franz, 25 points tonight, 6 boards, 3 assists, a steal, and 2 blocks. Had a lot of really good defensive moments tonight. Obviously, you want him to shoot better than 2 of 7 from 3. but finished some pretty tough shots tonight around the rim as well. Paolo, not a great night from him. Efficiency-wise, 5 of 21 from the field, 1 of 6 from 3, 10 of 13 from the line. Had 6 boards, 2 assists, a block. Only 1 turnover, which is good, but yeah, 21 points. And had that foul trouble in the first half. Only played, I think they said 6 minutes in the first half. Tried to get going in that second half and just never really truly got the rhythm that we so often see from him. We already talked about Wendell, double-double for him. 7 offensive rebounds, too. That's crazy. 9 points for KCP tonight. 3 of 7 from the field, 1 of 5 from 3. Obviously need more than 1 of 5 from 3 for him. We talked about Cole, terrific tonight, 17, 9, and 7 for him. Gary Harris with not 1 but 2 field goals tonight. 7 points for him. Did not miss from the field. AB, I thought AB really struggled tonight. Only plays 15 minutes. Ends up with, he's only credited with 1 turnover. You could probably argue at least 2. But yeah, not a great night from AB, which is obviously not anything I'm concerned about because he's been very good of late. But yeah, tonight just didn't quite have it. I thought Tristan was pretty good tonight. 8 points for him, 2 boards, 3 assists. Goga played 18 minutes tonight. I thought he was all right. Obviously, the 4 blocks in 18 minutes is elite. But yeah, he was pretty good. And then Jet Howard had to come in with the Paolo foul trouble. Wasn't terrific. Did hit that 1-3, but yeah, just pretty quiet stuff from Jet. Magic shoot 40.9% from the field, gross. 29% from 3, gross. 69.7% from the free throw line, gross. Not nice. And then I think they only had 12 turnovers. Yeah, only 12 turnovers on the night, so give the Magic credit for that. But yeah, the shooting is just abysmal. They did a pretty good job on Ja. Let's see. Yeah, he ends up 10 of 24 from the field and 1 of 7 from 3. Yeah, you'll take that every single night. Did a good job on Desmond Bane. Did a terrific job on Jaren Jackson Jr. Wow. Yeah. Free throw line, lived there tonight, but outside of that, 3 of 13 from the field, 0 of 6 from 3. The players that really hurt you, where's Gigi Jackson? There he is. Gigi Jackson had that huge run in the third quarter. A solo 9-0 run from him with those 3 triples. I think they were all in the corner too. And yeah, that was a tough moment there in the game. As far as team stats go, Magic were able to get out and run. Memphis loves to get out and run, and the Magic tried to match them tonight, which doesn't always go well, but tonight it did. 17 fast break points for them. We already talked about the 19-point lead that the Magic squandered. Just 22 bench points, not great. And then credit the Magic for getting 21 points off the 14 turnovers. 2 lead changes, 7 ties. Pretty back and forth game. Let's go back to the chat for a little bit. Again, I do want to talk about the rest of the league here in just a moment because this weekend is huge for the standings. Huge for the standings. I want to tell you why in just a moment. But I did notice we got a super chat while we were going over the box score. This one is also from Lee Sanders. Thank you so much, Lee, for this. He says, I love Mose. I genuinely believe that he's the guy, but this is year 4. That ending is inexcusable. I 100% agree with everything you said. I also love Mose. I also genuinely believe that he's the guy. I also agree that this is his 4th year as a head coach, and that ending is inexcusable. And he said it. He said it in the post-game press conference, and I give him a lot of credit for that. Just owning it straight up. Said it was completely on him, and it was. It was. Again, I don't blame Mosley for the loss. I think the game should not have come down to the final possession. I think the Magic should have knocked down their free throws. I think Paolo and Franz should have finished better down the stretch of this game. Executed better, maybe is a better way to put it. But it doesn't change the fact that you had 10 seconds left on the clock to try and have some sort of a good shot to win the game. And obviously, definitely fluffed that at the end. All right, we'll go back to the chat for a little bit here. Let's see. I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit here just because there's a lot. Yeah, there's a lot of you still here, by the way. A ton of you hanging out with us. Thanks for being here. Majestic P says Cavs went from being us to the 2016 Warriors. Yeah, wait till you see the scores from around the league. If you haven't seen it yet, we're gonna look at that tonight. They trounced the New York Knicks. Trounced the Knicks tonight. Chris D says Mosley has got to get an offensive coordinator for this team to take the next step. I don't care who you trade for. If he doesn't, then I'm done. I don't disagree, and I think a lot of people would agree with that. We definitely need some a different mind when it comes to the offense. Ross Holder says firing Mosley is one of the most egregious sport reactions I've ever heard. Sad it's a 6-man show host saying that. First off, everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Yeah, that is. It doesn't matter who says it. Like, Matt can have opinions, I can have opinions. We can agree and we can disagree. It doesn't matter who it is, whether a host or not. Humans are allowed to have opinions. Like, it's not like this is the first time we've had a reason to complain about Mosley. Like, there are other reasons that you can complain about Jamal Mosley. It's not just because we messed up a timeout with 10 seconds left in the game. So I don't know about that. It's again, I agree it's a little bit of an overreaction because I am definitely on Team Mosley, but I don't think it's sad that it's coming from one of us. Like, we're fans just like you. That's the core of who we are. We're fans, and fans are going to have opinions. Some are going to be strong, some are going to be, pretty tame, and yeah, whatever. Okay, last couple thoughts here from the chat before I definitely want to check out again the stuff around the league. Dizzy says Fran's defense on Ja was insane. Yeah, it really was. He did a great job. Did a really, really good job. Okay, let's I want to check out the scores around the league for tonight. For a couple reasons, and I really want to show you some of the other nights coming up because it's about to get very interesting. Magic obviously lose tonight. Pistons are currently up 10 on the Spurs. Keep that in mind right there. We're going to talk about the Pistons in a second. And then here's the one. Cavs beat the Knicks by 37. Good grief. I know the Knicks are missing some guys, but wow, that's crazy. Bucks barely beat the Wizards, and the Heat barely beat the Raptors. Had to go to overtime. Okay. I want you to keep in mind the Heat, the Bucks, and the Pistons, who are up here, and the Hawks. Why? Because let's look at Saturday. There's a couple things I want to point out on Saturday, but Sunday's the big day, okay? Oh, wait. No, there are none on Saturday. It is just Sunday. Sunday's the big day, okay? Obviously, let's start here. Wizards, Magic. The Orlando Magic have to beat the Washington Wizards on Sunday. You have to do it. You cannot lose to a 9-win team at home. Okay? Period. Have to do it. So the rest of what I'm about to say about Sunday is going to go on with the presumption that the Magic are going to beat the Wizards on Sunday. If any of you come at me later, if they were to lose on Sunday and say, well, Kevin, you jinxed it because you presumed they'd win. No, absolutely not. The Magic have to beat the Wizards regardless of any jinxing that I do. They should overcome the Wizards and jinxes, okay? So assume the Magic beat the Wizards on Sunday. Why is that important? Couple reasons. Number one, Pacers host the Clippers. Clippers have cooled off since the start of the season, but they're still a very good basketball team. That is not an easy game. The Pacers could lose to the Clippers on Sunday. Not saying they will, because the Pacers are really hot right now, but that is a game that they could lose. This is the big one. Pistons, Hawks, okay? If the Magic beat the Wizards on Sunday, then they will gain a game on one of these two teams because someone's got to lose here. They will either grow their lead on Atlanta by a full game, or they will catch up to the Pistons by a full game, right? Huge game there in Atlanta. We'll keep an eye on that on Sunday night. The other one is right here, Heat and Bucks. Same thing. Assuming the Magic win on Sunday, they will gain a full game on one of these two teams. Either they will increase their lead on the Heat by a game, or they will decrease the Bucks' lead in the standings by a game. Sunday is huge. It's a huge Sunday, a huge day of a bunch of games, right? And for those of you that clowned on me for looking at the standings and stuff back in October, now's crunch time, okay? We are less than 2 months away from the end of the regular season. We are less than 8 weeks. Actually, I think, it is. I think we're like 7 weeks now because the regular season ends April 13th. So, yeah, we're under 2 months now left in the regular season. Everything counts, okay? I'm going to refresh this really fast just to make sure this is fully up to date. Okay, so after tonight's results, Magic still, Magic still 7, but they are now 2.5 games back of the Pistons, and they are now 4.5 games back of the Bucks and 5 games back of the Pacers. They're even with the Heat, but they are ahead based on the division tiebreaker, 7-3, and 1 game ahead of the Hawks. So again, replaying that, assuming the Magic beat the Wizards on Sunday, they will gain a game on either the Pistons or the Hawks. So they will go up to 2-game lead on the Hawks, or they will be up to, instead of 2.5 games back, they'll be 1.5 games back of the Pistons. So either way there. And then same thing with Bucks Heat. Magic will either be a game up on the Heat, or they will be 3.5 games back of the Bucks instead of 4.5 games. And then same thing with the Pacers. If the Pacers were to lose to the Clippers, which I think is going to be tough, they'll only trail by 4. Okay? Sunday's huge. Okay? Sunday is very, very big. I'm excited for it, but gosh darn it, we got to beat the freaking Wizards. And I'd love to beat them convincingly. Okay? Love to see in the chat that Maddie and Ross are on the same page here. I always appreciate that. We're all on the same team here. We're all Magic fans. We all want what's best for this team, for this franchise, both now and in the future. And so I'm glad we can all be on the same team. All right, last couple thoughts here from the chat. TJ says, I genuinely think Jamal may have just had a rough night. He got a tech because the refs were so bad, and after that, I think he was a little flustered. I think that's totally fair. Totally fair. Very difficult night from the refs. Jamal obviously spent a lot of time dealing with them. And yeah, we all have good nights and bad nights. And, you know, if you or I have a good day or bad day at work, the difference between us and him is that his is in front of a bunch of, you know, tens of thousands of crazy sports fans. You know, if I had a bad day at work and it was on display for tens of thousands of crazy sports fans, I'd probably get some crap too. So it's a little bit different. El Mexico says, we lost by 1 point to the third best team in the West. Understand that. Yeah. Again, it goes back to what I was saying about earlier in the show. Like, on the one hand, very disappointed we lost this game. On the other hand, I'm very grateful we were competitive, because even right before the All-Star break, 2 weeks ago, we would have been blown out in this game. Blown out. So give the team credit for how they played tonight. Okay. All right, guys. I think that's going to do it for us today. Tough one. This is a tough one. No two ways about it. But again, they were competitive. They were close. They had chances to win. Just came up a little bit short. Okay. Like I said, back in action Sunday. It's a 6 p.m. tip-off against the Washington Wizards as this homestand continues. A game you have to win. If we lose on Sunday, it's going to be ugly. All right. But let's not plan on that. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, everyone. We'll see you Sunday. And until then, let's go Magic.